Hey guys, it's Timmy, and this is Pro Wrestling Unlimited. As my camera is not centered, there we go. As we're here, Friday, 28th of May, 2021, to talk about everything. Well, not everything, most things that went down tonight on Friday Night Smackdown and AEW Dynamite. So here's the plan. We're going to focus primarily on Dynamite here because, well, tonight was the Double or Nothing go home, so I want to give that enough time, but I don't want to keep you guys here extra long or anything. So we'll hit the key points for SmackDown. We'll go over that. We're not going to run everything match by match, move by move like normal for SmackDown. We'll run through that really quickly at the start, and then we'll get into the Dynamite review, and we'll go from there. But I want to say thank you for joining me here, twitch.tv/PW Unlimited, youtube.com/Pro Wrestling Unlimited. Remember, if you are watching on Twitch, you can help us out one of two different ways. You can help us out by hitting that donate button down below or donating Twitch bits in the live chat, or you can subscribe to the channel here on Twitch with either a tiered subscription or for free with Amazon Prime, because if you have Amazon Prime, well, then you have Prime Gaming. And with Prime Gaming, you get one free subscription to any Twitch channel you want to subscribe to throughout the month, and I'd greatly appreciate it if you subscribe to us right here, Pro Wrestling Unlimited. Hey, you can be like Rosario9248 just did with a Tier 1 subscription for 3 months. Thank you, Rosario, for that 3 months at Tier 1. On the flip side, though, if you're watching over on YouTube, you can help us out by donating a super chat or a super sticker donation in the live chat. Also, you can subscribe to the channel and become a channel member by hitting the join button down below next to where it says subscribe. With all of that, as a channel member, you get early access to podcasts, non-news videos, you get early access to exclusive news, you get a badge next to your name, and emojis you can use in the live chat. But if you want to directly support us, the best way to directly support us is by heading over to patreon.com/PW Unlimited. With that, as far as Friday Night Smackdown does go, I enjoyed tonight's Smackdown. Thought it was good, and we built up to 2 big title matches for next week's show, which one makes sense-ish. Actually, to be frank, neither makes sense why they're happening, because neither guy/team have been built up as title contenders. So SmackDown kicked off tonight with Roman Reigns in his locker room approaching Jimmy and Jay, saying, you know, you got your match tonight. Is this what you really want? Blah, 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 blah. And they're like, yeah, this is what we're going to do. This is what we want. And so Reigns wished them good luck. Street Profits came out and made fun of the Usos, said they haven't teamed for a while, said they used to do the dance, we Samoa, go we Samoa, we Samoa, go we Samoa. They made fun of all that and all that. And then they had a really good match. And also, before the match even started, Usos came out and cut promos, and you forget, Jimmy's a hell of a promo. Maybe. Because we were saying all this time, you know, main event Jey Uso, really good on the mic and stuff. Out of the two brothers, I think Jimmy may be the better on the mic, to be completely honest. Both really good. Jimmy may be the better one. With that, we did get a really good match between the Usos and the Street Profits. Just hard-hitting, back and forth, great tag team action. And in the end, we did see the Usos pick up the victory. After the match, they went to Adam Pearce and said, hey, we won our match against the Street Profits. Give us a title shot next week. And my first thought was, first tag team match in like 14 months. You beat one team. Granted, it's the Street Profits. Granted, you beat the Street Profits. But you need to pick up more victories before you get a title shot. That's just my opinion. I don't think they've done enough to earn the shot. But Adam Pearce said, okay, whoever walks out tonight, tag team champions, you got them next week. And I go, oh, you couldn't have pushed it to Hell in a Cell? Build them up with a couple more wins? Oh. Well, I think of Cameron Mirza over on YouTube for subscribing and becoming a channel member at the mid-card level. Really do appreciate that one, Cameron. Really do appreciate that. So that match is set for next week. Usos challenging for the tag titles. Speaking of tag titles, the women's tag team champions were in action. Natalya and Tamina took on the team of the Riot Squad, where the match got a little time. It did go through a commercial break. Well, actually, it started during a commercial break. And in the end, the tag team champions did defeat the Riot Squad. I mean, did anybody think the Riot Squad were actually going to win? I didn't. Going forward, Bianca Belair came out and had a really good match with Carmella. One of Carmella's better matches I've ever seen. You would have thought, okay, she's just going to run through Carmella. No, Carmella actually got a lot of offense. Fonzie, I'm not running a poll for SmackDown. I'm just going to run one in a moment for Dynamite, because we're running through SmackDown so quick. But as far as this match goes, I thought it was one of Carmella's better matches she's had in a very long time. She got a lot of offense, again, way more than I expected. Bayley showed up, joined commentary and whatnot, and after the match, she got on the mic and made fun of Bianca. So in the back, we see the SmackDown Tag Team Champions, Rey Mysterio and Dominic. They discussed winning the tag titles and promised to defend their titles later on tonight. We then got a SummerSlam commercial that did confirm SummerSlam on August 21st, 2021. Cardi B song, I think it's called Up, played, which will be the theme song for SummerSlam. And from what I've been told, from apparently what Fightful has been told, and what Andrew Zarian of the Matman podcast apparently been told, they're looking to get Cardi B to be at SummerSlam, possibly as the host. As soon as the commercial played, I got a message from a source saying, hey, that's not just the theme song as far as Cardi B goes. Or, no, I'll read exactly what the message said. Let me pull it up. It says, using the Cardi B song for the SummerSlam commercial is not all they want Cardi B for. Could be hosting or just special appearance at SummerSlam. Nothing is official or a done deal. Now, Andrew Zarian, let me pull up his tweet really fast. I believe he said it was a done deal or something along those lines. He said, I can confirm that I was told Cardi B is the host of SummerSlam this year. So he's making it seem like it's a done deal. I was told, from at least what my source knows, not a done deal yet. But it looks like they're trying to get Cardi B at SummerSlam, most likely in Vegas, but still not 100% official yet. That will be announced a week from tomorrow. Seth Rollins came down, cut a promo on Cesaro. Not much really happened here. You suck, Chance, and no Cesaro. Now, in an interesting thing here, this match didn't make a lick of sense. So we had that fatal four-way match where Apollo Crews retained the championship, the Intercontinental title. Then tonight, we get a match where at the beginning of the match, they don't announce it as a title match. The match is very short. Looks like Kevin Owens is going to win quick with a stunner, and Aziz got involved to cause the DQ. So the match is over, and Greg Hamilton goes, your winner by disqualification, Kevin Owens. But still, Intercontinental Champion, Apollo Crews. And I go, when did you announce this as a title match? They never once said that this was a title match. So that made no sense to me. And oddly enough, so Owens lost the four-way. Singles match here tonight. Okay, cool, whatever, get that. But because he won I think this match went in 2 minutes and won by DQ, he just gets a title shot next week. That makes absolutely no sense. But he's in the back. I can't breathe. I need a pillow. I want Apollo. It's not like he kept saying, I want a pillow, but he said, I want Apollo. And Anna Pierce is like, oh, you're tough, Kevin Owens. But I'll give you what you want. He goes, no Aziz. And he's like, okay. You versus Apollo Crews next week for the Intercontinental Championship. And Commanders, these can't be there. Something like that. And I was just like, he didn't even win the match. It was like 2 minutes in. Apollo probably would have kicked out anyways. But he gets a title. Title shot from that? Such lazy booking. Can't even build them up. Like, I get it. He defeated the champion. But not really. Going forward, we had Shinsuke Nakamura taking on Chad Gable. He had Rick Boogs with him. Shinsuke Nakamura defeated Chad Gable. Corbin tried to get his crown back. He was putting it on his head when Boogs knocked him out, and Nakamura left with the crown. Cool. In the back, right before commercial break, Rey Mysterio was on the ground. Well, not really on the ground. He was praying before their title match. And Dominic's like, I'm ready. And he's like, oh, give me one more second, mijo, and we'll go. And Dominic's like, all right, I'll meet you there. And so Dominic, I guess, goes to Gorilla or whatever, goes towards the ringside area, goes towards, the ring. And we go to commercial. Well, when we come back, Ray's laid out. Ray can't move. They're trying to help him up. He's like, I can't get up. They're like, well, let me help you. He's like, no, don't help me. Like, he didn't even want them to help him. And Dominic's like, I got this. And Ray's like, no, you don't. You can't do this on your own. He's like, I got this. I'll do it. So they cut to the ring. Ziggler and Roode are already in the ring. We don't know who attacked Ray. But they're like, oh, if he doesn't come out here, forfeit, we get the titles. Right, ref? And the ref's like, well, let's see what they want to do. And and Ziggler's like, you ain't obviously going to let that kid defend by himself. Roode's all, the kid can't do it. And finally, Dominic does come out, and the ref's like, all right, if he wants to defend by himself, ring the bell. They'll ring the bell, and the match starts. Dominic's getting beat down, and finally Ray's music hits. Ray starts to walk out. It distracts the Dirty Dogs long enough for Dominic to roll him up. Can't remember who he rolled up. He might have rolled up Roode, I think. Roll him up, get the victory. Shitty. Very shitty title defense where Dirty Dogs are going to say something along the lines of, that wasn't even technically a real title match because Dominic was out there by himself. We want another shot. I could see it going down like that. Mysterio not Mysterio, but the Mysterios, Rey and Dominic were in the ring celebrating that they had defended their tag titles when the Usos would come out. Usos come out and get into their face. We then see Roman Reigns watching from the backstage area as the show faded out. Kind of a disappointment end to the show. Like, the tag match happened, and I go, so what's still left? I look at the clock and go, fuck, this show's over? It was just like, done. Usos come out, show's over. Kind of anticlimactic, but I get why they ended it the way they did with the Usos coming out, because they're building up for the tag team title match next week. That doesn't make any sense. So next week, we've got tag titles on the line, Usos challenging the Mysterios, and we've also got Apollo Crews defending the IC title against Kevin Owens. And that's a quick rundown of Friday Night Smackdown. Now we will get into talking about tonight's Dynamite. The reason I wanted to spend more time on Dynamite was because it was the pay-per-view go-home show. So, remember, guys, if you want to be part of tonight's show, you can do so by texting in to 510-906-1341. What? Get the poll going. Remember, like I said, I didn't run a SmackDown poll because we ran through that pretty quickly in like 10 minutes. Like it was, well, not Eddie. It was all right. I didn't get. All right, poll is live on Twitch. Over to YouTube. It was all right. Didn't like it. All right, we got that as well. Switch over my notes to Dynamite. If they want to load, because sometimes Chrome is a pain. There we go. All right. AEW Dynamite. So the show itself had a new setup. Not new per se, but it was the old pre-pandemic Daily's Place setup where you got the ring centered, you got fans, so you got the ring centered, fans all around it, even on the actual Daily's Place stage, big Titantron above them, and then the actual entrance part of the stage, if you're looking at the ring, off to the left. So they come in at an angle into the ringside area and whatnot. Basically, what they've done previously at Daily's Place before pandemic, and they just set it up like a regular wrestling stage. I think the last time they ran this setup at Daily's was January 1st, 2020. Correct me if I'm wrong. The show had this new setup. It was the pre-pandemic Daily's Place setup, and the show kicked off with Darby Allin against Cesar Bononi. Bononi easily overpowered Allin early on, just tossing him around the ring and whatnot. He then set Allin onto the ramp on the outside before tossing him back into the ring for a 2 count. Allin countered an inverted suplex attempt into a hanging sleeper. Bononi reached to the ropes, forced the break. He followed this up with a sleeper, which repeated slaps to the back of Bononi's head and an over-the-top stunner. Allin then hit a coffin drop to pick up a quick victory. After the match, Allin called out Ethan Page and Scorpio Sky, demanding, quote, "Let's do this tonight." Remember, Darby Allin will be teaming with Sting this Sunday at Double or Nothing to take on the team of Ethan Page and Scorpio Sky. Page and Sky returned. Where was I? Page and Sky walked out to "You Suck" chants from the live crowd. Big ass crowd here tonight, and there's supposed to be even more people at Double or Nothing. Sky told the crowd, "Grow up." Sky said Double or Nothing would be the end of one legend and the beginning of 2 others. Sky and Page were able to walk off, but the wingmen, let me see if I know all these guys. It's Cesar Bononi, Ryan Nemeth, Peter Avalon, JD Drake. Those 4. Yeah, those 4. I was trying to see if I knew all 4 guys, because I knew there was 4 guys. It was Peter Avalon's the newest one to be added to this. It's again, AEW just adding guys to groups. Like, it started off as just Cesar Bononi. No, it was Ryan Nemeth and JD Drake. Then they added Cesar Bononi, and then recently they added Peter Avalon. They're called the Wingmen. The Wingmen. I don't know who's the actual leader of the group. Sometimes people like to say on commentary it's Cesar Bononi's group, and others like to say it's Nemeth's group. So I don't know. But they attacked Sting and Darby from behind. Page and Sky then ran down to jump in on the fray before the Dark Order would run out to make the save. Why? I don't fucking know. Why did the Dark Order run out? Because they just wanted TV time, even though they were getting it later anyways. Also, Scooby-Doo Batnut, you are being timed out on the Twitch chat. We don't need any of that, bro. We don't need any of that. You've been timed out. No need for the language and calling other people names and whatnot. Just uncalled for, bro. Also, why won't this let me... There we go. All right. So going forward, we had the Cody Rhodes Anthony Ogogo weigh-in hosted by Paul White, or as Cody likes to call him, Big G, or the G, or something like that. Here's my gripe with this. This was not good at all. And weigh-ins in wrestling never are. I mean, when did they say at all for this match they have to weigh in at a certain weight. Like, was that even a thing did I miss it? Because they weighed in within a pound of each other. But in pro wrestling, unless you're in a cruiserweight, light heavyweight division, weight doesn't matter. I mean, look at the match we just talked about. Darby Allin versus Cesar Bononi. Darby Allin weighs roughly 170 pounds, where Cesar Bononi weighs roughly 260 pounds. That's a 90-pound difference. 90-pound difference. You're going to tell me they had to weigh in for that? Why does Cody and Ogogo have to weigh in? The last time they did a weigh-in thing, it made no sense. It was dumb. Jericho and Moxley. So, I've just never liked weigh-ins in pro wrestling because they're always bad and not needed. And this one was really bad, and we'll get into why. So, Paul White was introduced as the, I guess you could say, host of the weigh-in. They had, so I feel bad for the people sitting on the stage because they had two big-ass American flags. And so they had two big old flags in front of them, an American flag and a British flag, blocking their view to where at one point, a guy in the front row eventually reached out far enough to grab the flag, pulled it, and kind of held it up so he can see. So Go came out first, joined by the Factory, QT Marshall. He had Nick Camarado, Aaron Solo, and another guy that I don't know who he was, but he looked very familiar to me. If anybody knows, let me know in the live chat or the comments below who that guy that was wearing the hat and like the gray silver hair. He looked very familiar to me, but I don't know who he is. Cody came out with about 50 people. Also, we had a very biased host here because he goes, first out, coming out, Anthony Ogogo. So Anthony Ogogo comes out and goes, and also coming out here, we've got the American, or first he said, a man that I've known for a very long time, and a man I've really gotten to know a lot, the American Dream, Cody Rhodes. Like, wow, way to be biased there, host. Regardless, Cody came out, flanked with a bunch of people like his sister, Brandy, Dustin, Arn, and the rest of the family. Velvet Sky was out there, and a bunch of his trainees. Which, here's the other thing that makes no sense. We know that the Nightmare Factory and the Factory are the same fucking thing. Do they train in the same school but in different sides of the school or something? Is that what we're supposed to believe? Because we have Cody's trainees, and then currently QT keeps talking about how he's got his trainees too. Ali Jorba, you're asking, did I see what happened with Spanish commentary? No, I did not. I watched it on the TNT app, and I just listened to the normal commentary. Enlighten me, Ali Jorba. What happened with the Spanish commentary? Was it something bad? But regardless, going forward, we had this weigh-in. And they don't give any reason why we're doing the weigh-in, but Paul White, or Big Show, whatever you want to call him, I mean, he's always going to be fucking Big Show to me. That whole stupid, no more BS. Dumb. Anyways, he goes, weighing in first will be Cody Rhodes. So Cody gets on the scale, and he's going with the scale, and he's doing all this stuff, and he goes, oh, no, Cody, you're well over 200 pounds. What the fuck was that? Car drove by really quick to scare the shit out of me. Anyways, he's fiddling with the stuff, right? With the weights on the scale. And he's like, oh, yeah, you're well over that 200 mark. And then Cody tries to help him with the scale. And they're playing with it. And they're playing with it. And they're playing with it. And he goes, obviously, I couldn't invest in a digital scale. And finally, he's like, we're just going to go with this. Cody Rhodes weighs in at 218 pounds. He literally said, we're just going to go with this. The fuck? Just go with this. Yeah, that's official. He then asked for Anthony Ogogo to get up on there. Gogo gets up on there. Oh, you weigh in at 219. Like, what? You literally did it that quick, but Cody's there to fiddle faddle with? Whatever. Whatever. And then QT, dumbass. Well, we know who's going to win on Sunday. Anthony Ogogo, he's already got this one because he's got the 1 pound weight advantage. Like, what the 1 pound weight advantage? What the fuck does that have to do with anything? Aligero, or however you say it, says they forgot to turn off the microphones during commercials. Dasha Gonzalez said that she wanted to sleep. Willie Urbina, Alex Abrahamson, and Thunder Rosa were making fun of her car. She is English. Wow. Hold on. I'm going to see if we can find this on Twitter. And maybe listen to this. If anybody's got a clip of this, please. Oh, I think I found it. Hold on, guys. Let me get my headphones. If this is it, we're playing this right now. We're going to listen to it. That's horrible. Let me just double check this really fast, see if this is it. So I found here where they're making fun of Sheeta. I'm going to play the audio for you guys right here. Let me if I can pause it and start it over. The person tweets out, earlier tonight on AEW Spanish commentary, Hikaru Shida was being mocked by the Spanish commentators. So hopefully you guys can hear this. It's Dasha, Alex Abrahamson, and who did you say the other guy's name was? Willie Urbina? All right, let's see if this will play. Oh, I got to unmute it on my end. All right, now you guys should be able to hear this. This is horrible.
Y Willy que haga Shida.
Willy, que haga Shida.
¡Cállate!
¡No manches! Le voy a aventar la pluma si usted no se lo avienta.
Ella habla inglés. Qué malo.
Pausado. Bonito.
It was Thunder Rosa as well. That's horrible. That's just horrible. What's this clip? Is this the same clip? It's the same clip. I'll see if I can find another one. But that's just uncalled for. Give me 1 second, guys. I'm going to try and see if I can find... Give me 1 more second. I'm going to see if I can find the other one where they said Dasha was saying that she was tired or something. All right. Yeah, I don't see any other videos, just the one where they're making fun of her English, which is horrible. Horrible. All right. But with that, guys, going forward, again, don't know why we need weigh-ins in wrestling, but QT did the whole thing. Oh, he's a 1 pound weight advantage. He's going to win. And then they all kind of tried to go face to face. Dustin tried to jump at QT. QT in the factory jump out of the ring. And there we go. Also, I saw somebody in the chat say I was talking about Aaron Solo. No. Aaron Solo had his hair up in a ponytail, blue back ponytail. I was talking about somebody else that had silver hair under a hat. That was with QT. You only got a glimpse of him like once or twice. I can find a picture of him really fast. Let's go. See, just the AEW Twitter, man. I have a picture from the a weigh-in or something. Yeah, no. I'm not seeing a shot of him anywhere. But it doesn't really matter. He's just a guy that was there with the factory. But going forward, yeah, Cameron missed some of the physical activity here. And not really much happened. Like, it was a lame duck segment, to be 100% honest. And it was just, it just really killed it with the whole, we don't know how to use the scale thing. Video package played hyping up Stadium Stampede. Jericho, MJF, and members of the media spoke about this match. We were told to expect the unexpected. And from what I've been told, this will be different than last year's Stadium Stampede. Give me one more second, guys. I need to do one more thing. There we go. All right. So, cameras cut to the back. Powerhouse Hobbs is brawling with Christian. Both are participants in Sunday's Casino Battle Royale. Christian is supposed to wrestle later tonight. Christian will whack Hobbs with a bar and tackled him into some boxes. Christian never wrestles later tonight. Taz then joins commentary for Hangman Page versus Joey Janela. That if you were able to. Backstage reactions to what BFG podcast? Well, this match is really fun. This is actually a rematch from All In back in 2018. They wrestled to a stalemate early on until Page shrugged off some chops and nailed a couple of his own. Oh, well, I will for sure ask around about that, BFG. I honestly didn't know about that till just now when I got that message from sorry I keep butchering your name in the Twitch chat. Ali Jorba. I didn't know about that because I don't watch the Spanish commentary version or any of that. I just watch what they load up on the TNT app live. But I will ask around about that. I don't know if I'll get anything or not, but we'll see. Actually, I can send a message now and see if we get anything back before we end this podcast. Give me 2 seconds to send a message. Send. All right, so going forward, this match was really fun again. Like I said, it started off with a stalemate. Page shrugged off some chops and nailed a couple of his own. A snack suplex. A snap suplex. Got another 2 count. Page sent Janela to the floor, but Janela avoided the plancha and hit a thrust kick. Page caught a crossbody and turned it into a follow-away slam. Janela took control after sending Page face first into the turnbuckle, leading to a commercial break. Right as we came back, Page clotheslined Janela all the way to the floor. They fought on the apron, where Page hit a springboard clothesline and a plancha. Page was then bleeding from the mouth. And that wasn't the only spot he got busted open in. I don't know where the big blood spot was, but he was bleeding from right here, all along the front of his hairline, and it was just coming down. Page went for the dead eye, but Janela rolled up Page for a 2. Page crushed Janela with a boot. Janela then sent Page into the corner with a snap German suplex before landing a diving elbow for a close 2 count. Page was then busted open on the top of his forehead. And again, I don't know where that busted open came from, like that cut came from, but it was pretty gnarly. Janela then went for a Death Valley driver, but Page hit a discus forearm, a pop-up powerbomb, and a buckshot lariat to pick up the victory. Give me 1 sec. All right. After the match, Taz gets up from commentary, and he's like, hey, Hangman, good match here. You're bleeding. You're probably not at 100%. But you know, there's someone that wants to see you. It's the man you're going to face this Sunday, Brian Cage. Cage told Taz, shut up. And he recognized what Team Taz does. Taz gets up from commentary, distracts the wrestler in the ring, and then the other guys in Team Taz come out and attack from behind. He sees Cage walking down the ramp. He goes, oh, Cage, there you are. Hook, come on. I see you coming through the crowd. Ricky Starks, are you coming too? Where are you at, Ricky? And he's like, I know your games. Cage gets in the ring, and he goes, Cage, you not have the balls to face me on your own, or have they shriveled up into your body? Or do you need Team Taz to watch your back? And Cage is like, I don't need anybody to watch my back. I can do this by myself. You versus me. I'll be there solo on Sunday. It's like, it's Cage versus Page. No, I think it was JR goes, it's going to be Cage versus Page in a rage. Cage made some rhyme as well, and I can't remember exactly what he said. But I hyped up the match for Sunday. We got Brian Cage versus Adam Page. Cameron with the Super Chat donation says, AEW was a good show, but it felt too overhyped. Stuff that wasn't needed. I know the pay-per-view coming up, but come on. Overall, I thought SmackDown was better. I thought they were about the same, to be honest. But yeah, you gotta try to overhype a few things. I mean, you're going into the pay-per-view. So, we'll see. We'll see how it does. Then they go, we're going to hear from the challengers to the AEW World Tag Team Championships. It's Jon Moxley and Eddie Kingston. And they're talking like, how much the shoes cost? I don't know. How much the Young Bucks shoes cost? I don't know. It don't matter anyways. And they throw them in the mud. And about 20 seconds into the promo, it just cuts to commercial. Commercial ends, it comes back, and it just starts over. How much do these shoes cost? I don't know. Hey, how much do these shoes cost? I don't know. It don't matter anyways. They don't even look good. And so they cut a promo on the Bucks. Moxley said it was time to get serious. He said he and Kingston were a great team, but they're not even a real team. But he trusts Kingston more than almost anybody, and he trusts him with his life. He has Kingston's back in war, and it's going to be a war with the tag team championships on the line. He said the Bucks may be a more well-oiled machine, but Moxley and Kingston are pit bulls, and they're going to make the Bucks quit. Kingston said that Moxley speaks for the underdogs. And when they win, they'll be the EVPs. Kingston said the pressure is coming. And I go, is Moxley an underdog? He was positioned as like the number 2, number 3 guy the first night AEW was a thing. Like, he showed up after the main event and laid out both guys in the ring. He's a former world champion. Defeated Jericho to win that title. I mean, is Moxley really considered an underdog in All Elite Wrestling? I mean, I get it. Maybe in tag team competition because he's a singles guy and him and Kingston aren't a team that teams a lot. I don't know. Maybe that's what they're saying he's. I don't know. But he's not an underdog. Going forward, where was I? Tony Schiavone was in the ring, and he calls for Orange Cassidy to come out and let us know if he's going to compete in the world title match or not, when Pac would come out instead. He told Tony Schiavone, get out of the ring. He sent him packing. He said, this Sunday, Orange will be irrelevant. The only man with any relevance is the man who's going to beat Kenny Omega and become the new AEW World Champion, the bastard. He asked Omega if he was proud of his reign and called him pathetic, and then called him out. Don Callis would show up on the big screen and say, you think we're going to come out there, put ourselves in that kind of a situation? No, we're not. We know you're a dangerous person, a violent, aggressive, soulless sociopath. But Don on the screen was all a ruse Omega did go out to the ring, and he tried to attack Pac from behind. It was a distraction, so Omega could hit a cheap shot, but Pac had it scouted. He took Omega down with a running dropkick. Good Brothers then ran out to try to beat down Pac when the Lucha Bros would run out to even the odds. And I go, man, I wish we had one more week. One more week before the pay-per-view. Then we can get Death Triangle versus the Elite in a 6-man. That'd be a great match. Nope, pay-per-views this weekend. Can't build up anymore. Going forward, Orange Cassidy and Best Friends would finally come out. Where was I? This is right as Omega was about to hit the one-winged angel, but Orange's music stopped Omega from doing so. He pulled out a note from his trousers, I guess you can call them, and inside it was a shredded contract, the one that Kenny and Don gave him about quitting the match, relinquishing his rights to be in the match. Orange then dropped Omega with the Orange Punch and went to pick up the AEW World title, but Pac stood on it and told him, no, no, no. He then went for a powerbomb, and Orange countered it and hit a second Orange Punch, leading to a freshly squeezed chant from the crowd, where Tony Schiavone let us know this could be the outcome this Sunday at Double or Nothing. Okay. Like I said, I'm trying to get more info on if anybody knows anything about the whole Spanish commentary debacle. So I got a message back, but it doesn't look like my source knows anything right now. Going forward, Jade Cargill was with Tony Schiavone in the back when Matt Hardy would quickly interrupt. He said, hey, this is going to be a big day, big weekend for the Family Hardy office. I'm going to win the Casino Battle Royale. You should align yourself with winners. Let me be your manager. And Mark Sterling comes up and goes, well, that's not needed because I'm her manager now. He insulted Hardy and gave him his business card. Said, if you ever need any legal advice, give me a ring. So the guy that's the third wheel on the Toy podcast with Cardona and Myers, he's working on like big time AEW now. Because, Jade Cargill's going to be heavily focused on. And if he's with her, he'll be semi-focused on. Good for Sterling. Good for Mark Sterling. And next up, Jade Cargill took on Kylan King. This was an open challenge. As Kylan King accepted the open challenge. Both women used their strength to do a test of strength early on, where Cargill eventually, not just right out, but eventually overpowered her. She hit a clothesline and dropped her down. Again, remember, Jade Cargill, she's still green. She's still got a lot to learn. But I will say, every match she does improve. Every time I see her in the ring, she has I can tell that she's improved. Even if it's just a little bit, you can see the improvements. But King went for a running crossbody, and Cargill caught her and then did some curls with her. Then planted her with a power slam into a commercial break. Back from that break, Cargill kipped up and sent King to the floor. She hit King with a strong forearm and pushed her back into the ring before hitting her version of a glam slam that they called the Jaded to pick up the victory. Jade picks up the win. Not bad. I thought this match was all right. I honestly, for Jade's level of experience, I thought the match was good for her level of experience. I'm not sure exactly how long Kylan King's been around, but I think they said this is only Jade's 5th match, so why not? So next up, we had Lance Archer and Jake Roberts in the back. Roberts began to address Dante Martin, challenging for the TNT title tonight. He was like, hey, if Dante Martin somehow wins, then he's going to be defending the title. And Lance Archer goes, no, I don't want to take on Dante Martin. I want Miro to win tonight because I want to face Miro because Miro's gotten under my skin. And I'm like, Miro's gotten under your skin? You guys literally did nothing. You had like one promo segment where Miro just called you a monster and you called him a Bulgarian. And yeah, like, what? Got under my skin? I don't understand that. But regardless, we did have a TNT title match tonight. It was Miro versus Dante Martin. And what is there to review? Miro whipped his ass. Miro beat him down, just destroyed him, and retained the title. After the match, Jake Roberts and Lance Archer would come out. Lance Archer and Jake were talking. Miro tried to talk back, and his mic wasn't working. So eventually, Miro's yelling, turn on my mic. Come on, let's go. Get my mic on. Okay, the mic's working now. And he's like, you're always standing there behind the old guy. I try to tell him to shut up, but he's just holding you back. Is he ever going to let you out of your cage or something like that? And I think Jake tried to say something in either Russian or Bulgarian or something. And he goes, translation, that means shut the F up. Miro then came back and told him he's ready to fight right now. Let Lance go. And finally, he did let Lance go. He's like, okay, get him. Lance Archer ran down to the ring. The two brawled for a little while before Lance tried to chokeslam Miro. Miro reversed the chokeslam or countered out of it. And eventually, a bunch of referees came down and broke him up. Nice little segment to build up some hype for the pay-per-view. Next up, we had Hikaru Shida's championship anniversary celebration. Hikaru Shida has been the champion for, I believe they said 377 days, something along those lines. Been a year. And they got Tony Schiavone out there. I think it was Bryce Remsburg in the ring, holding a AEW Women's World Championship, and Shida comes down with her own World Championship. And they literally go, we've got a brand new AEW Women's World title. And they go, brand new? That's the same belt with just new plates on it. So, like, they're playing this up like it's a freshly designed, brand new, not looking like the old belt at all belt. But no, it's just the same belt, but they made a new one so it doesn't look dirty and faded and rusted out. Because, you know, this belt's been around for almost 2 years now. So they just got a new clean belt, but they're playing it up like this is a new, never before seen design or something. And so she just got her belt on her shoulder. She talks about how she won the championship last year, but there were no fans for her to celebrate with. No fans to see her win that title. And now she's happy to be here with the fans tonight. And they take the new belt and they put it around her waist, and that's when Britt Baker would come out. She congratulated Hikaru Shida, and she said, 2 weeks ago I sat down with Jim Ross, and I have to say that I misspoke. I said that I'm the face of the AEW Women's Division, and that's not quite true. Because when I win that championship, I'm actually going to be the face of a whole new era. Like the 316 era, we are about to get the DMD era. And my first thought was, no, she didn't. She did not just try to compare herself to Attitude Era Stone Cold Steve Austin. No, the fuck she didn't. What? This company full of a bunch of marks. I swear to God. Anyways, during a commercial break, Sammy Guevara did his old shtick where he would have the stuff written on poster boards and he'd toss one, say something else, toss one. I didn't pay attention to what it said. Next up, Scorpio Sky and Ethan Page took on the team of Evil Uno and Stu Grayson. This is a pretty fun match. Didn't go as long as I expected, but Sky was cocky. And Stu Grayson pulling out shit that it's like, holy crap. Like, there was a move where Ethan Page had been knocked down, and he rolled over onto the apron. So fucking Stu Grayson launches himself, pulls himself, like uses the top rope to spring himself. He jumps over the ropes, and as he's coming down to land at ringside, he pops the elbow down. Just great looking move there. But Grayson dominated Page early on in this match before he at one point also did a crazy looking move that took out Scorpio Sky. Eventually, he was taken down by Scorpio Sky, though. Scorpio Sky then hit him with a slingshot cutter as we went to commercial break. Once back from the break, Grayson fought back with some strikes, and he escaped a TKO attempt. They spiked Sky with a Uranagi. Sky was able to tag in Page, though, but Grayson landed a backflip kick to both opponents. This bought him some time so he can tag in Uno. Uno hit a surprising Hurricane Rana on Ethan Page and a flatliner on Sky before the ref-assisted neck breaker on Page. Yeah, you heard me right. Ref-assisted, unfortunately. Dark Order used some teamwork to allow Grayson to hit a belly-to-belly suplex on Page and Sky in the corner. They, I don't know why I read that as Orange, they then hit a combo cannonball and a 450 splash for a near fall. Sky gouged the eyes to stop the run. And Page then hit the Ego's Edge on Uno to pick up the victory. Ethan Page grabbed a mic and started speaking before he was immediately interrupted by the music of Darby Allin. Darby Allin came out with a number of guys with Sting masks on. Allin attacked Page as Sky effortlessly dispatched the stings until there was one that he couldn't, and that was the real Sting. They ran away, Ethan Page and Scorpio Sky, and it was just to build up more hype for the tag match this week, where they had to let us know again, this is the first time that Sting will wrestle in front of a live crowd in over 6 years, or almost 6 years, something like that. We got the full card for Double or Nothing. We'll talk about that in a moment, because after I finish this review, we'll do our predictions really quick. Because, well, we're at the main event, and it was the Inner Circle celebration. Eric Bischoff was the host or the master of ceremonies. He really wasn't needed there. But he said, 25 years ago, I think he said it yesterday. Or is it yesterday or today? I can't remember which one he said. He introduced one of, if not the greatest faction of all time on this very network, which was the NWO, but I don't think they're allowed to say NWO. He then brought out, he said, what is probably the best faction today, one of the greatest factions of all time, the Inner Circle. They came out to Judas, the full crowd sang Judas. Jericho had the biggest, giddiest smile on his face when this crowd was singing Judas, and he soaked it all in. He's also still wearing the cast on his arm. But after a long Inner Circle chant, Santana spoke. He recalled October 2nd, 2019, the night that everything changed, the night the Inner Circle was formed. They said that they, along with everybody else in this company, put this company on their backs through a damn pandemic. And now, we're here with the return of the best fans in all of the world. He said, if this truly is our last dance, he's happy that he was able to do it with these guys. Ortiz said, simply, this is beautiful, or that was beautiful, something like that. Hager then got on the mic and said, you can show all the highlights you want, all of our best moments. But what you really need to show are the hard times that made hard men, the hard times that made us what we are. The hard times need to be celebrated. And I go, you're not Dusty. Quit saying hard times. Sammy Guevara then said, and this was kind of Sammy Guevara goes, you know, we're so good together. And I really learned that during my time when I wasn't in the Inner Circle. Because at one point, I did quit the Inner Circle. And I go, what, for like 3-4 weeks, if that? He's like, I noticed when these guys didn't have my back that everything was different. And I go, didn't have your back? You said, I don't want to work Impact. And then you came back and just rejoined Inner Circle. Like you didn't do anything in the company on your own, really. So, bro, what are you talking about? What are you freaking talking about? Anyways. Jericho then finally spoke and said that he was hesitant at first to create a group when he was asked to create a group because he usually doesn't work well with others. But with these guys, it's natural. He said they didn't give a damn about anyone or anything, and except for each other. and they put on great performances. He said Stadium Stampede, they're going to do it again. And if they lose, they're going to go down with a blaze of glory. He ended up by simply telling all the guys, I love you. And they hugged. They all did their middle finger stick at the camera before MJF would interrupt on the big screen in the stadium. He mocked them and said he's excited for the Stadium Stampede before saying, I've also got one of your friends here, Dean. I'm about to make the Iceman even colder. Dean Malenko was barely beat down, knocked out, and laid up against one of the goalposts. Inner Circle ran to the stadium to try and save Dean Malenko when they were ambushed by Sean Spears and FTR. They all brawled around for a while before Pinnacle gained the control. And all members of the Inner Circle took pile drivers with fucking FTR jumping off of a ledge, pile driving Santana and Ortiz through 2 tables, which just looked brutal. MJF closed it with their line, when you're in the Pinnacle, you're always on top. And that is how Dynamite went off the air. Yep, Dynamite went off the air with the Pinnacle standing tall. I highly doubt, and I'm not just going to say this because, oh, well, if one team's got the advantage coming out of the go-home, then they're going to lose. That's WWE hearsay. That's what we know WWE to do. But I think we're getting the same thing here tonight. Because I honestly don't think the Inner Circle breaks up. Because if the Inner Circle loses, they have to dismember. Or disband. Dismember was the wrong word to use there. They have to disband. And I don't think that's going to happen. But with that going forward, we do have Double or Nothing coming up this coming Sunday. This Sunday is AEW Double or Nothing. We've got, I think, 10 matches announced for this show. We're going to run it all down, and I'm going to give you my predictions for all these matches, as well as we start off with the buy-in. As far as the buy-in does go, we do know that the NWA Women's World Championship will be on the line on the buy-in as Serena Deeb defends against Riho. We do have, again, Serena Deeb versus Riho, and I think it's going to be Riho. I mean, no, Serena Deeb. I don't know why I said Riho. Riho ain't winning the NWA title. Maybe if it was an AEW belt, but no, she ain't winning the NWA belt. No, it's going to be Serena Deeb retaining the title. Going forward, we have the AEW Casino Battle Royale. In this match are as followed: Christian Cage, Matt Sydal, Powerhouse Hobbs, Evil Uno, Colt Cabana, Jungle Boy, Isaiah Cassidy, Mark Quinn, Matt Hardy, Griff Garrison, Brian Pillman Jr., QT Marshall, Penta El Cerro Miedo, Nick Camarado, Max Caster, Anthony Bowens, The Blade, Preston Vance 10, Lee Johnson, Dustin Rhodes, and a TBA mystery entrant. So I think it's going to come down to either the mystery entrant, depending on who it is. If it's like a big name from New Japan or even Impact, mystery entrant. If it's not the mystery entrant, screw it. Let's go Christian Cage. Let's have Christian win this battle royal. So that's what I'm going to predict. If it's not TBA, the mystery person, it's going to be Christian Cage. Going forward, we got Cody versus Anthony Ogogo. This one's a toss-up because I would want to see Anthony Ogogo win to establish him going forward. Hey, I beat Cody, blah, blah, blah. But it's Cody. He's the American Dream for one night. He ain't going to lose using that name. I think it's going to be Cody Rhodes. Especially he's not going to lose when he said he's doing this for his unborn daughter. So I'm going to say Ogogo should win, but I think Cody's going to win. Going forward, we have Hangman Page versus Brian Cage. It's going to be Hangman because he needs to avenge his one loss in 2021 to Brian Cage. We have tag team action, Sting and Darby Allin against Scorpio Sky and Ethan Page. It's got to be Sting and Darby. Sting's first match in front of crowds in almost 6 years. It's got to be Sting and Darby beating Scorpio Sky and Ethan Page. Sky and Page will be perfectly fine if they lose. Going forward with the TNT Championship on the line, Miro defending against Lance Archer. I'm going to say Miro. I don't care either way. Both guys would be cool to see as the champion. It's interesting that 2 years in a row, Double or Nothing, Lance Archer fighting for the title, but I think Miro retains the title here. The AEW Women's World Championship on the line. Hikaru Shida defends against Britt Baker. Do I even have to make a prediction? Britt Baker. They're actually going to mess things. If Britt Baker doesn't win here, somebody's fucked up or there's some sort of favoritism to Shida. Baker has to win. With the AEW World Tag Team Championships on the line, the Young Bucks will be defending against Jon Moxley and Eddie Kingston. I'm going to say Young Bucks retain. That's the route I'm going to go. Probably going to be a really good match, but I'm going to say Young Bucks retain. With the AEW World Championship on the line, Kenny Omega will be defending against both Pac and Orange Cassidy. Again, Elite goes out on top. Kenny Omega retains the world title. And finally, I already gave you my prediction for this one. It's the Stadium Stampede, the Pinnacle against the Inner Circle. If the Inner Circle loses, they must break up forever. That's not going to happen. Inner Circle picks up the victory. They've also been playing up too much how they lost Stadium Stampede last year. MJF picked Stadium Stampede because he knows they lost last year. So I think that right there tells us they're going to win. Inner Circle wins the Stadium Stampede. But with that, those are my predictions for AEW Double or Nothing. Double or Nothing does come to us this Sunday, May 30th. Live on pay-per-view, live on BR Live here in the United States, and on Fight TV internationally. With that, guys, now I'm going to check the poll to see exactly what you guys thought of tonight's Dynamite. 50% of you liked tonight's Dynamite on Twitch. 38% thought it was just all right, and 13% did not like tonight's Dynamite. As far as the YouTube poll does go, 65% of you liked Dynamite, 20% thought it was all right, and 15% of you did not like the show. Now remember, guys, if you want to be part of tonight's show, you can text into 510-906-1341. Again, that's 510-906-1341. We've got a decent amount of text messages here. First person says, first off, my name's not Tom, it's Tim. Says, did you see the Tony Khan? Yeah, we've already talked about that. Oh, I haven't talked about it yet. So Tony Khan put out a video before Dynamite tonight and basically said, I read the Wrestling Observer today. Hey, WWE, you've been in talks with New Japan Pro Wrestling. Nick Khan, you've been talking to them for 2 months and nothing's happened. Look what I've done with New Japan in the last 2 weeks. I'm like, bro, are you fucking kidding me? He really did that. Like, really? Really? Called out WWE by name. They tagged WWE in the tweet. I was told by a source WWE was very unhappy with this, with the whole tagging them in the tweet, making sure they saw it, and Tony Khan calling out Nick Khan specifically. I was told WWE was not happy by that. Also, another little scoop ski here. Also, my source told me that people in WWE think that Tony Khan knew that WWE was talking with New Japan and leaked that info to Meltzer. Because Meltzer's the one that first reported it. So the feeling by some in WWE is that Tony Khan found out through somebody from New Japan, leaked it to Meltzer, and is now playing it up like he didn't know. But WWE was not happy that Tony Khan put out that video, which why would they be? That has nothing to do with anything we talked about tonight. This person says, I think the women's tag titles would have worked better in the Team Bella versus Team PCB versus Team Bad feud. Correct. They would have, but they didn't have them then, so that's a moot point. Can't really talk about stuff would have worked if they did it 10 years ago or 6 years ago. Saying things they're doing now would have been better if they did it 6 years ago. Okay, you could say it, but they didn't. So what are we talking about, really? This person says, where's the Tim and Nick show been? Well, Nick got a new job, and his schedule is all kinds of over the place, so haven't been able to record. There's Thoughts on the Tony Khan video. And this person says, do you think GCW... Oh, this person says, do you think GCW and AEW are going to have a partnership? No. I know where this is coming from. Moxley going out and doing the two things he's done so far with Nick Gage, most likely building up to a match with Nick Gage. I don't think that's AEW starting a partnership with GCW. I just think it's Moxley setting something up to have a match with his boy Nick Gage. I really just think that's all it is. But we'll see where that goes. That match will be gnarly nuts crazy once that happens. But with that, guys, I want to say thank you for joining me here. Twitch.tv/PW Unlimited, YouTube.com/Pro Wrestling Unlimited. Remember, we will be live this Sunday for AEW Double or Nothing, pay-per-view coming up again this Sunday night. Remember to follow us on social media, Facebook.com/Pro Wrestling Unlimited. No, Facebook.com/Pro Wrestling ULTD. Follow us on Instagram by searching for Pro Wrestling Unlimited, and follow us on Twitter @PW Unlimited. Also, remember to follow our website, pwunlimited.co. So with that, guys, have a great rest of your night. The man says, is Jericho's arm okay? No, Jericho's literally suffered an elbow injury in the fall off the cage, but he's going to work through it for Stadium Stampede. But with that, guys, have a great night, and I will see you Sunday for Double or Nothing. We'll see you then. Alrighty, if you're still watching on the Twitch,